All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Monday, December 6th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Neil. Great to see Norman, Andrea, Brian, all of us still joining us here live inside Cyber Group. What a day, Brian says. And that can go in more ways than one, right? But of course, the markets have pushed up pretty nicely. We've had a bunch of runners moving up pretty nicely as well. So it actually has been a very good day inside the Cyber Group room. Great to see Phil, as I had said, Kathleen, Lori, Deb, the ladies of Cyber Group. Welcome on back. Brad as well. Hello. And hey, if you're joining us back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, welcome on back as well. So I got to talk quick today, folks. I apologize. I'm not teaching later today, but Fausto is the phase 3 stock course continuing on later on this afternoon, coming up in T minus 30 minutes. So let's go right from top to bottom otherwise, and we'll build up our afternoon watch list for Fausto. Of course, I'll be talking a little Bitcoin at the end. You knew I'd have to talk about what had happened basically from where we left off Friday afternoon. So, we'll go right from top to bottom to begin, and then we'll see where the road takes us. So, CFVI, I mean, before we go right from top to bottom, this is near the top of the gainers list, but it's on the screen at least to begin. I just got out of this trade and it took a while. I'm very happy with how it played out. But man, I'll tell you, just because I got out doesn't mean that this is totally going to reverse. It did shake back down really nastily off where I got out, right off 1430, 1435. But this stock is shortable. It actually was a phenomenal trade as a short earlier on this morning. So if it fails to continue building support, trying to make one more explosive run up, then perhaps it could be an opportunity to try and short into the close. So we'll see at least. I don't mind putting this on our main list just to begin. Just provides great opportunity in both directions. The worst case scenario on this stock, folks, and this could be said for any very heavily traded stock. Trading 68 million shares, going on 69, going into the next couple minutes. It's just to say, outside of these 2 days here, this stock has not really traded a whole lot of volume per day. So I feel like at some point this thing is just going to be straight up exhausted to the point where it doesn't make as good of a move up or as good of a move down. So that would really be the worst case scenario on this type of trade here. But we'll keep it on our list just to begin, and then otherwise we'll rip it right from the top. So ISIG, man, I don't have as much time to really analyze this stock, go over it with you from head to toe. Now, hey, for all of us live inside the trading room, that'll be tomorrow, our weekly Traders Talk workshop. If you want me to go over this trade or perhaps the ACET, which we'll show in just a minute, or anything else otherwise from today, this goes for Norman, Susan, Brian, James, Neil, Deborah, Lori, all of us here otherwise. Send over a quick email. I just posted my email address live inside the Cyber Group room. For all of us on social media, I'm referring to our weekly workshop we conduct there. That's our Traders Talk workshop. If you wanted to join us tomorrow for that, just go right down to the link on the banner below the stream just to get yourself started. But for right now, ISIG, man, this thing's still pushing up, still giving us a little bit more room to see make another move up here. So yeah, definitely alongside the CFVI, I have no problem just putting this on our list. And this one obviously looking a lot healthier in its direction going up. All right, Taco is a buyout. We skip over that right away. And now we jump right to Cpix. Man, Cpix, just a stock from last week, from I think Tuesday last week it was. It ended up making this big pop and run in the pre-market. From there, well, ended up making a nice push after the open that day, but came back down. And then obviously now here, just out of nowhere, this thing took off. So it broke above 5, and there was no looking back from that point up until right now. Right now, this thing's deciding to begin to break a little bit lower off of support levels. I'm just shooting from the hip here, but namely off of like 660-ish, 662. Just made a big 20-30 cent drop once it broke below support. So hey, I'll put this on our list also. Definitely a nice run given this time of the day heading into the afternoon. Hopefully this isn't the end of the run altogether. It needs to get right back on up, make a slingshot later on, and make a new high. The ACET trade I had referenced just a moment ago. This stock, I mean, this was all over the place. This was like through the spin cycle. Ended up just dropping off after the open. It was building lower highs, almost like this bearish Fausto flag to a degree. And when the market opened up, bam, it had a huge drop right away. Well, ended up making a beautiful slingshot roughly off of what is this, like 1240-ish, 1250-ish practically. Ended up making the nice pop. But when the volume dies off, even right here, you're expecting a complete and utter dump back down, more often than not, at least for a stock that's already up, 30, 40% in pre market, made a wacky spike up. If it doesn't keep going here, odds are it's going to fail and crash. Well, it ended up giving us actually one more last, like, almost like freak type of pop here. Ended up making this big pop from 14 up to near 16. But same thing happened here as did here. And in this case, it's making the uglier move here now. So I'm not as keen to put the ACET trade on our list. We'll keep it going. Vine. I didn't know if this was like Vineyard Vine, the clothing brand, Vine Therapeutics. Nonetheless, nice level one stock, cheapy, but really had a tight spread throughout the duration of the morning. Obviously, right now still is on a 1 cent spread. Right now, I guess it's trying to eke back up a little bit off of like 115. It just made a small little push to 120. I'll come back to this at the end. I would have zero problem putting this on our list if it gave us signs of life. If it doesn't, if we come back to this at the end of this meeting and it's still struggling here, I'm not going to be as particular about it. All right, look at this. Nice run on AHI. I don't know if this is a new IPO. It looks like it is. Yeah, this is all I got on the daily chart here. No idea what this company does, Norman, who wrote AHI Pop just a moment ago. So, you know what? Don't need to know what the company does in order to make money on it. All we know is that this stock is breaking all-time highs as we speak. All right, beautiful. Nice catch, at least here on this AHI. We'll keep it going, though. The RAAS, nice little push earlier today. We called it out as a level one stock heading into like the 10 o'clock time frame. So actually pretty surprising to see it make another push up higher from that point. But again, not a whole lot to write home about right now. And that's the focus right now. LTPRA, try saying that name 3 times fast. But it's to say this stock, it seems like it's right where we would want it to be going into 2:30, 3 o'clock Eastern time, near at the highs. The issue, it's trading like no volume per minute. It's only trading about like 2 or 3,000 shares per minute. That's extremely little for what we would want to see right now. So healthy chart. Nice day today for this LTRPA, but I'm going to pass. Well, what I'm not going to pass on, as you can imagine right now, is Prague. Nice push back up on Prague. I didn't realize how much percent it was up across the day today, up near 20% now. We were calling out this trade going into the late morning, the early onsets of the afternoon here. And even at this point, you would think, well, when's it going to pull back? When's it going to make, a false breakout, a reversal altogether? Maintained a beautiful trend. Here's our little pullback, and thankfully still pushing up pretty nicely right now. Looks like a bunch of volume just got filled over the last 4 or 5 minutes. 2:34 Eastern time. Let's take a look on the tape. 234 those prints came in at. I don't know. It could be either the transactions coming in at 283, 284. Looks like a 24K print got filled at 283. See if I scroll back down. I thought I saw a little something right here at 280. It's tough to say. Let's take a look on the matrix here. Looks like a lot of volume from consolidation just generally getting filled right around 281, 282. Either way, I would just say in order for the stock to keep pushing, we got to keep seeing it break over orders on the ask, more green on the tape. And that's pretty much what the doctor is going to order here in order for this to make a push up closer to 3. All right, cool. We'll put Prague on our list. Mark getting about 6 cents live in Cyber Group right now. He was in from entry price 267. Nice entry, Mark. Really nice entry. Took the profit, ran. And hey, you could always get back in on the trade if it gives you that opportunity. All right, so we keep it going. Let's just kind of skim around right now. We have a decent list already, so I really like what we have, and I wouldn't mind adding more, but I just want to be very picky with what we look at right now at this stage. Wish. Wish is trading a hell of a lot of shares per minute. It's squeezing up to 370. So I'll tell you, this kind of looks similar to, what was it, the sluggish one, the one that wasn't doing anything. I forgot the name even. Just to say, at least this Wish stock definitely trading a lot of volume per minute. It's at the highs. It's up over 12%. How could we not put this Wish trade on our list? All right, so let's move over to the loser side. Market's up a decent amount today. I'm sure there's a couple of other stocks that I didn't look at that's up more than that 10% even, like NCLH, number 50 on the gainers list. Let me just look at this pretty quick while I'm at it. This and CEI. This one's like moving too slow for our blood right now. So there's a difference between Wish and Prague. Those look a little bit more opportunistic. This one's moving up still too, but a little slow. It's like watching the paint dry, right? All right. So again, let me know if there's anything that I'd missed on the gainer side, folks. Otherwise, going to flip it right on over to the losers list. Got a bunch of stocks getting killed today, also, although not by the market. If anything, the stocks that are down the most, if they're moving with any sector or whatnot outside of vaccine stocks like mRNA, NVAX, etc., it would be Bitcoin stocks, Riot, Mara, my BT, which I guess I can fortunately say now that I closed out of that swing trade Friday morning. It was still took a loss, still took a little licking on it, but with Bitcoin dropping off pretty much as soon as we finished up the day Friday afternoon, I guess I'm happy getting out where I did ultimately. But folks, let me know if there's anything else that I missed. I sounded pretty lackadaisical going through the loser side, but I'll tell you, NVAX, mRNA, both pretty expensive. We're not going to trade those. Maybe an ABIS here, which is a sideless stock, from last week, but there wasn't really any familiar names that popped up here otherwise on the loser side. So may have seemed a little lackadaisical from me, but typically we don't really find as much on the loser side heading into the afternoons. Unless if the markets are tanking. All right, so folks, I'll tell you what, I'll check out Riot, my Mara, both of which made a nice, climb up today. They're down big on the percent losers list this morning. Riot pulling back from 29 now, Mara off 43. They'll remain on the side list. Nothing too special about them going into this afternoon. All right. Again, let me know if there's anything else, folks, up, down, left, right, that you would want me to check out, look at pretty quickly. But otherwise, we will kind of flip it right to Bitcoin here. Just give me a quick second or two. I want to just put this up. There we go. So if you've been following Bitcoin even from Friday afternoon, you know what happened, right? So we ended up seeing practically by the time the market closed on Friday, after we finished up this meeting back from Friday afternoon on the 3rd, well, all the wheels fell off, right? We ended up seeing Bitcoin continue to drop off from the break that we had from this white trend line that was holding practically for the last 6 months. But it is to say, at least that's where I was saying, we have to anticipate, moves the other way. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, still am, really, still, I haven't changed my stance on that. But from Friday afternoon's meeting, I said we have to explore all thoughts. And I'll tell you what, Bitcoin dropped off about 10,000 points, 9,000 points lower than I thought it was gonna, right? So I thought, if anything, worst case scenario, we kind of see this break towards 50. And I thought that would be later this week, let alone from Friday afternoon, right? So I've always said this, at least from the get go, folks, just for anyone joining new in the trading room or on social media, we don't try and predict. We just try and react, right? And for all of us in Cyber Group, that because that's our whole philosophy with trading stocks, right? But in terms of potential buy opportunities, I ended up getting in right around 48. I woke up the following morning, like Saturday at like 5 o'clock in the morning. It already broke under these trend lines here, broke towards 42 and bounced back up. So I'll tell you, I ended up getting in lower than I thought it was going to eventually drop down to. As far as an investment, I'm happy. As far as a short-term move here, definitely not as happy. I would like to see this begin to make a much bigger run back up, as I thought that would have happened 3 weeks, a month ago. But that didn't happen, right? So altogether on Bitcoin, looking at my 6-hour graph, we're well below the 500 EMA at this point. We just have to get back over these white trend lines here that we're holding as well. This isn't the only one that I had up. So really, I had a couple of other lines that were drawn back from March of 2020 when the pandemic even started. So you know what? For the meantime, at least, it's trying to build the support, trying to build back up there. It's going to take a process, probably take a while, but we need to see it kind of hold above here. If so, then good. If not, then to be transparent, if this continues dropping, who knows when we'll see that top, that peak. It might not be till June, July, August of 22, right? And the one thing I will say, at least, is, I thought the top would have been around February, January time of this year, upcoming year. Clearly not the case now at this point, right? I mean, either the top altogether is here, or the top will be much later down the line, perhaps around June, July time. All right, so hopefully at this point right now, we just happen to see higher lows building and for this to begin to make its move back up towards the 500. All right. So folks, what do you got for me? Anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5%? Just type it in the chat boards. Just let me know. I had to do a double take Saturday morning. I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning, suddenly just out of whack, and I checked my crypto account and I saw 46,000. I was like, that can't be right. It took me by surprise, trust me. Mike says LCID falling off some. Well, that easily could be added to our list, Mike. I mean, LCID has been such a great trade, mostly on the way up today, and now perhaps if it's not going to continue to move up, perhaps this could be a nice short opportunity heading into the afternoon. I don't mind putting this at the very bottom of our list. I mean, it did us pretty nicely earlier today. It's trading a lot of volume per minute. It's definitely not a level 1 or 2 stock, right? You know that obviously. I'm just saying that to everyone altogether. But otherwise, though, yeah, I don't mind putting this on our list again. All right, Norman says someone dumped about 1,500 bitcoins on Saturday morning. I bet you someone bought 1,500 bitcoins today. I mean, to each their own on long-term look, right? So at the end of the day, I'm a permabull in terms of just long-term. But as far as the drop-off, not too fun. At least I bought at 47, but not fun. All right, folks, let me know if there's anything else. Otherwise, we're going to call it. I'm going to type my email address in Cybergroup right now. I say that specifically because we have our Traders Talk workshop tomorrow. So for any of our new trial members and students that are attending tomorrow, make sure if you want to have your questions sent in and reviewed on time, just send it in early. I just type my email address live inside the chat board for all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live. I'll do the same thing. Again, if you want to join us for tomorrow's workshop, all you got to do is go right down to the link on the banner below to get yourself started on a week-long trial with us here. Otherwise, though, if you're not ready to jump in just yet, then no problem. Just at least send over any questions right to me. Just specify that you're on YouTube or Facebook so I know not to answer your question in the workshop because you wouldn't be attending it, right? So, any questions that you have for all of us on social media, go right to josh@ctutrading.com. That's my email address. I'll typically write back within a couple of days' time. All right, so folks, with that in mind, not a bad list to work with heading into this Monday afternoon's close. We got about 6, 7 stocks all together so far. And then if there's anything else that makes a big move, we'll look to call it out in the next 10, 15 minutes. All right, folks, I will be back on the mic later on today. I'll probably be back on right at like 3:05, 3:10 Eastern time. I'll jump back on the mic for all of us live inside Cybergroup. All right, I'll talk to you all then. Take care.